Hello debutantes, I just wanted to show you a little bit of what I'm doing to get ready for Thanksgiving. The first thing I'm doing a week early is I am putting together my sausage and bread stuffing. I'm not going to add any of the chicken broth. I am just going to put it all together, mix it up real good, and then I am going to freeze it so that I do not have to be on my feet quite so much right before Thanksgiving. And so this is what I'm doing now. Right now I'm browning the onion, the celery, I think there's something else in there. And once that's done, I'm putting the sausage back in there and then mixing it all with all of that toasted bread. One of the things that kind of warmed my heart at Thanksgiving is that I get to use a lot of my family hand-me-downs. Now this is not an heirloom. You've heard me talk about this bowl before, but my dad's mom, grandmama, was always a big part of all the holidays. She spent them all with us, so I get to mix all of this stuffing in grandmama's big bowl, and I'm actually getting a little choked up because I miss her even more during the holidays. So these types of things are very important to me, to be able to have things that my family has used for generations to prepare a meal. Another thing we're going to do for this Thanksgiving is we're actually going to use these napkin rings that my husband made for Maureen and David's wedding. They've been married 2 years, so I thought this would be a nice thing. So I actually have probably over 100 left. We were going to divvy these up for family members and we haven't done so yet. So I'm going to dig out 14 of these and make sure they're cleaned up and get them ready for our table. Another thing that I have been doing actually for the past couple of months is I have been saving all of my big yogurt containers so that I can send people home with leftovers, and these are all the storage containers that I have saved. Now these aren't something that I would use normally, but to just send people home with leftovers because everyone always seems to forget their containers. Now I will have plenty to send goodies home because I certainly don't want all of that stuff left here. So I'll still have a month before Christmas. I'll be huge. Next thing I'm going to do is I went through the napkins. I only have 11 left in this pile. I'm going to need to wash them and iron them and then take a few out of this pack. So that is my next thing to do, is wash and iron 14 cloth napkins. Why do I do this to myself? The recipes that I'm using for the things that I'm cooking come right out of recipes that I've saved over the years. But like my stuffing is, I think it's Tennessee Pride bread stuffing. I found this a long time ago and I've used it ever since, but I have all my recipes put in this cookbook that I made for myself and for Maureen. I'm actually looking for my apple pie recipe. So all the recipes that I made when she was growing up and some things we wanted to try, I went ahead and put into a cookbook for her and I think I have a video of this, and if I do, I will link it down below. But again, this is something that I can pass down to a grandchild or whatnot. And there are some handwritten recipes. I think it's important to have recipes that are written in your own handwriting. And I do know that my grandmother's pecan pie recipe is in here in her own handwriting right here. So I just think it's so precious to have my grandmother's handwriting right there with her pecan pie. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and put my apple pie together. I'm going to put it all together and then not bake it and put it in the freezer and take it out maybe a day ahead, let it defrost, and then bake it. I already have my dry ingredients. My apples are ready to go. And yes, ladies, I'm cheating. I'm using the Pillsbury pie crust. I use these every year and they work out perfectly. And you can see I've already started stocking up on my baking supplies in anticipation of wonderful shortbread cookies and chocolate chip cookies. So these things went on sale and I had a coupon, so I went ahead and stocked up, and now they're sitting on my counter, driving me crazy. So I am going to put the apple pie together and I'll show you what it looks like before I put it in the freezer. I wanted to show you guys this fabulous vegetable peeler I picked up at Target. It was on clearance. It fits on your finger and you cup it in your hand and then you can just shoom, 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 peel things lickety split. If I was available with two hands, I would show you how I'm going to use this on the apples, but I think this was like $2, and this is my new favorite kitchen tool, is this ring held vegetable slicer, or palm held vegetable slicer, I guess you would call it. I have my apple pie all ready to go in the freezer. I actually used a deep dish cake pan instead of a pie pan because I used so many apples. So now I'm just going to wrap this up, pop it in the freezer, and defrost it maybe the day before, and it'll be ready to bake. I have bagged up the stuffing, and it is now ready to go in the freezer as well. I'm going to show you why I wanted to do this a week early, because if you look at the state of my kitchen after doing all of this, it is a big old hot mess. So now that I have completed some of these tasks a week early, hopefully I will be a little less stressed and my kitchen will stay clean once I clean it. So I hope you enjoyed this little prep video. Again, please subscribe if you have not, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!